Hello, everyone, and welcome. Um, I've decided to do something different. The Anakin Skywalker series I was gonna do in my perspective, like Luke's. I was starting it, and I think I had a better idea. As I was doing the outline of it, I realized something, and I'm like, okay, I might go in a different direction with these, and may even go back and do Luke at some point. I don't know yet. But I think it's a good idea. Now, other people might not. That's fine. You don't have to watch this. But I'll just get right into it. So, in The Phantom Menace, I noticed something. Okay? Palpatine is indirectly responsible for Anakin Skywalker being discovered. Now, hear me out. In The Phantom Menace, there are a series of events that play out leading up to Anakin being found and taken back to the Jedi Council to get trained. I'm going to go over each one in order. First off, number one, the Trade Federation's invasion of Naboo. This is the event that forces Queen Amidala to evacuate Naboo for Coruscant. Number two, during their escape, the ship's hyperdrive is damaged, making them find a nearby system to land on. It just happens to be Tatooine. Number three, Qui-Gon searches Mos Espa for a place to acquire the parts they need for their ship. In doing so, they happen upon Watto's shop. This is where they find Anakin. Number 4. Watto refuses Republic credits, and his species is immune to Jedi mind tricks. Also, he just happens to have the hyperdrive for their exact ship model. Number 5. Anakin takes them all back to his home and eventually discusses pod racing and racing for the money needed to buy their ship parts. It is in this conversation that Qui-Gon picks up that Anakin is force sensitive, and later finds out there was no father when he was talking to Shmi. Qui-Gon has Anakin's metachlorian count tested and finds that it's over 20,000, even higher than Yoda's. Number 6. Anakin wins the pod race in his freedom. Qui-Gon has the parts they need to leave Tatooine and go to Coruscant, where Anakin is presented to the Jedi Council and eventually tested. None of these events would transpire if Palpatine had not ordered the Trade Federation to invade in the first place. Now, my thinking is that Palpatine did have a hand in the initial turn of events, but I think that the Force itself took care of the rest. The Force had reacted to Palpatine's actions, that it was time for the Chosen One to be found and trained. Let's not forget that Qui-Gon played a huge role in those events as well. He was the only one who knew of the prophecy of the Chosen One and took it seriously. Yes, Master Windu and Master Yoda knew of it, but they were skeptical. So the Force being able to know what Palpatine was planning before he even enacted it, used Chancellor Valorum to send Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan specifically to the Trade Federation as ambassadors to negotiate. Without Qui-Gon, Anakin would have been left on Tatooine. Not only did all those events have to happen, but Qui-Gon would have to have been there to see it through fully. Qui-Gon was a practitioner of the living Force, so it makes perfect sense why the Force sent him. So in a way, Qui-Gon was the answer to Palpatine at that time. Now, it's been said in several instances that Palpatine knew Qui-Gon was the threat. It's not covered in the movie itself, but it's implied that Palpatine needed Qui-Gon out of the way because Qui-Gon would be a threat to his plans. Whether or not this is true is irrelevant. Qui-Gon dying was the will of the Force to have Obi-Wan train him. Anakin was destined to become a Sith. Qui-Gon would have trained him properly and would have never turned. Now, when I say properly, I'm not taking away from Obi-Wan. He did the best he could. It's just Qui-Gon would have understood Anakin better and would have been more the father figure Anakin needed and not a brother like Obi-Wan. This just goes to show how connected the Force is to certain events and even how the Force reacts to certain individuals' actions. It is this kind of stuff that excites me and makes me rewatch these stories over and over. Now, also, this could go back into the Plagueis novel. You know, Plagueis and Palpatine messing with the Force, and indirectly Anakin is created, and this could be, an extension of that. It's just the way the Force connects everything in the story just makes cohesive sense, and that's what I'm a fan of. And George has a certain formula for that to work, and not all of it can be applied to all Star Wars stuff, but it can definitely be applied to things that doesn't involve the Jedi or the Sith, like something like Andor or something like that. There was a Force healer in there that kind of a little bit touched on it a little bit, but yeah, this just something that I thought of when I was working on the original idea of what I was going to do, and I was just like, you know what? Why don't I just do like a Force perspective? Because that just sounds more fun, really. And it still covers Anakin, but it covers the Force, involving Anakin, which is exactly the way it happened. So, yeah. Um, I could also do this with Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and I may just do that. So yes, that's. I hope everyone found this, educational. If you didn't already know this, if you did, then that's okay too. But I just like to share that I was excited about it, and I just wanted to share it. So, thank you. May the force be with you.